How we doing today?
Great.
Well, first of all, just let me say I'm honored to be here with you guys. I mean, this is a real treat. I'm gonna today give you some secrets of my family. All right? You got your pen? All right. As you know, you may not know, I'm known for cooking barbecue. So I'm a whole hog, authentic barbecue guy from North Carolina, of course. And I made my reputation sort of keeping it real, cooking barbecue from the tradition that is from the time it started up to where we are now. But the strange thing about what happened some years back when I was a kid, my mom came up with another recipe using a different product to produce the very same taste of barbecue, because we had family relatives that had moved away for whatever reason, and when they came back home for an annual outing, they didn't want to eat pork. And my mom is one that everybody has to eat at her table, and everybody has to be satisfied. So she came up with a unique recipe using some of the same ingredients for barbecue, but substituting it for turkey. And one of the things that she had to make sure that was adamant about what she had, that the product had to be a butterball turkey. So I'm proud to say, because of the way that Butterball produces their turkeys, hormone-free, they are second to none in quality. And so I'm a mama's boy, I listen to my mama. Alright? So today what we've done is we have cooked the turkey, and we're going to show you how the process starts. So I cooked the turkey here at about 350 degrees. Probably for about two and a half hours. Now, I don't normally say low and slow when I cook, because I'm completely opposite. When I cook barbecue, I always cook it hot and fast, but in this particular instance, we are going to use the technique of low and slow, because we want to keep the moisture and the tenderness of the turkey. So when we debone it, you will have all those flavors. So, let's start by just simply unwrapping one of Butterball's gorgeous looking turkeys. Isn't that pretty? And it's important that you put about a half a cup of water in a saucepan or in a roaster whenever you cook it, because I want you to be able to get some of these good juices that's going to be left. We're going to use that to actually incorporate that into the recipe. Alright, so let's just start by this simply. Now, what I have here, these are real good, so you can really move fast. These are my specialty. These are my hot gloves. Alright? That enables me to come in, place the turkey here, and simply break the breast up like that. When you do that, you're automatically ahead of the game, because you've already deboned most of it by just separating it, what I call the light from the dark. And simply come here and start to just take it off the bone, like so. It's a very simple process, so it's not hard, and you guys can easily do this. Now, one of the things that you have to be careful of is that obviously turkey has very small, fragile bones. So one of the things you do is make sure that you get all of those out through this process. I'm doing it in a hurry here, so for time. And we don't want the skin. This is the only time that I don't use the skin. I do use the skin when I'm cooking chopped barbecue, because that's called crackling. But when I'm cooking turkey, Mama always would take the skin off, so like I said before, I just stick to one. So how long have you guys been interested in culinary?
I love cooking.
Love to cook?
Ever since I was about 10, 11 years old.
Oh, you sound about like me. But I didn't love it. I got to be honest. I was just happened to be born at a time when I didn't have any sisters. And both parents had to work. And so I thought at doing a sissy job, cooking. But as time went on and it caught up with me, I realized that the skills that my mom taught me ended up being an integral part of my life.
How hot is that turkey?
Okay, good question. I like to cook it at a temperature, like I said, about 325 to 350 for about 2.5 to 3 hours. And when I debone it, I let it cool down to probably about 60 degrees, or actually hot as you can stand at house, put it like that, okay? Now, one of the things I said earlier, we kind of go through it, make sure that we got most of the bones off as possible. And here's a key point. I'm sure you realize that the darker portion, what they call dark meat, and the breast portion, what they call light meat, they both have a different flavor profile. So, the key to this thing is you have to make sure you use the dark and the light meat to get the full authentic taste of what it's supposed to be. Because if you just eat one portion of it, you never can tell what a turkey really tastes like because you're only eating half of it. So it's important that you mix both of them together. Same thing about barbecue. Here's the cleaver, so we're going to chop it up a little bit. Now the meat is sort of tender, so you don't have to do a lot of chopping, but you do want to get it fine enough. You want to get it kind of fine enough. Now I'll teach you some of the techniques of chopping also at a later date. One of the things that you do is that you chop first horizontal, and then you chop vertical. Almost like making a, I call a tic-tac-toe square. Chop it, you can almost tell the way the texture of it or the look of it is changing. And if you know what chopped barbecue looks like, it's beginning to take form as to what that looks like. And the only difference is that we have substituted the turkey. Now we're going to spread it out a little bit. Spread it out. There's two things that happens here. One is we want to get the ingredients to be added evenly, but more importantly, what are we doing? We're cleansing it. We're making sure that we don't see any debris, small bones, skin. All right. Okay. Now we'll give you some of the top secrets. These are really top secrets now. I'm going to share them. There's one basic ingredient that you must use to determine whether or not it's going to be an Eastern style version or a Western style version. Okay? Now I'm from Eastern North Carolina, so I'm partial to the Eastern style, so I'm going to show you that first. I always like to use an apple cider vinegar. Preferably, I have a preferably brand, which is White House, as I do for my turkeys, because that gives me good results. Alright? So what we're going to do, and we're going to start out with 5 basic ingredients. Salt, pepper. Anybody sell this on eBay now, let's give you some of the money. Alright? Salt, pepper, crushed red pepper, and just for a little bite, alright, we're going to add a little cayenne pepper for a little extra kick, alright?